Okay, we'll begin. This is the 1st of August, 2023, and my name is Dennis Kleinsasser, and I have the privilege of interviewing Connie Raub, who I've known for some time, and looking forward to the interview. So you know the questions, I think, since you're the chairman of the committee. And we're starting out with first memories. When did you join, and who was the minister at the time, and what are your first recollections?
Well, my husband Richard and I moved here in '97, and he had been a choir director for a number of years, and we were looking to kind of retire and not get too involved. So we were kind of looking for different churches, but about, let's say, I guess it was 2004, I guess. Shelby Spong came, and this was before the lecture series was started. So Richard perked up at that and somehow heard that he was going to speak here, and he said, I think we'd like to go and hear him. So we did, and we were very impressed then, and decided to come back and come to worship service. And we were immediately impressed with just the congregation, the beautiful building, and Jim White was still here, and so we were just amazed at his preaching and the music and the organ and just the friendliness of the congregation. And the real clincher was when we sang What Does the Lord Require, the Micah 6, and we looked at each other and said, this is it, we're in. So then we joined the church in January of 2005. So I've only been a member for 18 years. I'm a newbie.
Yeah, 2005.
Yeah.
So I think you've already answered the second question, what brought you to FCF, but if there's anything to add to that question.
Yeah, that was pretty much
you
it.
You were new in town and looking for a church home.
And we'd tried some other churches and we're not terribly impressed.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Good.
So how long have you been?
Well, about the same time I started attending, I think, about 2005. I haven't been a member that long, but yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. Well, the next question for you is should be interesting, because the question is, what have you been a member of while at the church? What groups have you
Let's see, how much time do we...
That's what I was thinking, right.
Well, immediately, Richard got involved with, he began to categorize and organize the church music library. And he right away got put on what they used to call the worship council, and also music and arts. And he got involved right away. We joined the choir. We also played with the bell choir for quite a while. And he had been diagnosed with cancer, lymphoma, in 1999. And so he was already going through a lot of chemo and all that kind of thing. So let's see, I got involved with the chancel arts right away, and I did a lot of things. And I was asked, I think within that first year, to decorate for some kind of a senior luncheon that they were having them periodically at that time. And so I was involved with all kinds of things too. And then it was 2006, I believe, that Richard was the choir director for less than a year. He really didn't have the energy to do it, but that was great. And so we got to meet a lot of people and got very involved in that. And then he died in 2007, in October 2007. And I was so grateful, though, to have this church and have that support and people that I knew and loved. And so we had a service here and then a service in California from where we came. And then I was, let's see, I have some notes here because I couldn't remember everything. So I served as co-chair of the chancel arts on and off from probably 2006 until the present. So sometimes I've been the co-chair, sometimes I've never wanted to be the chair because I always like to drag people into things together, as you can tell. So I served on church council then from 2011 to 2014. So I represented Karen Fellowship, and in those days, Karen Fellowship had about 25 different committees or teams under, and we did all of the programs and everything the events that all the church did, like, for instance, the fall festival and things like that. That was all under Karen Fellowship. The staff does a lot of that now.
Oh, I see.
And we had, and of course, all the other groups. And at that time, we still had Plymouth Circle and groups like that. And one of the funny things was I tried to introduce myself to every group that I was connected with. Well, the men's B&B would not allow me to come. They said it didn't matter. I said, I'd just like to introduce myself. I'll leave right away. No, I was not even allowed to enter. So
they are not open and affirming.
Well, they're open, but only affirming to some. So, let's see, so for instance, Plymouth Circle was the women's group, and it was the last of the circles that was still going. And I tried to keep it alive as long as I could. I didn't want it to end on my watch, but we finally did close it down in probably 2015, something like that. And we had a lot of programs and did a lot of things, and the women were important. But, you know, these days, it's not as important to have just a women's group or just a men's group or whatever, although men's B&B is still going on. So let's see. For the last number of years, I've been a member of the three-person committee with Patty White and Judy Court doing the Silver Threads Luncheon. And it started out when I was involved in it first, it was anybody who was 65 and older. And now you have to be 75 and older. We have so many wonderful and vibrant people that are older. And so I finally got to the point where I could actually attend legitimately. I've been involved in several capital campaigns, and including the Burn the Mortgage, and also I was the chair of the stewardship campaign, and both of those took place in 2021. I'm really proud of the fact that we were able to
did a great job.
Get rid of that and get rid of that additional baggage for us. I've been part of the Madrigal, still sing in the choir. The Madrigal's always fun, and that's an amazing production. I was honored to be Mary as part of the Mystery one year. I am an usher. I'm one of the memorial coordinators, and that has been a real privilege to be able to put on some kind of a celebration of life for people. I'm now chair of the 150th celebration, and that I think is going to be amazing and so important to our church. and to the rest of the community.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just us, it's the city, it's the
Right.
Rocky Mountain Conference, it's really the state. I mean, we have done some absolutely amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that has been the peace and justice that we've done.
Right.
I'm in contact with the Pioneers Museum and with Colorado College. The fact that the same people that started the church started Colorado College is a very important thing for the city. So those are some of the things that I'm involved with.
Some of the friends that you've made, who's been important to you? And
Oh
terms
gosh,
of your
there's so
involvement
many
here, yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
amazing people.
yeah.
One of the things that you and I started was the singles group
Yeah.
that a long
It was
time ago.
short-lived,
It was
yeah.
short-lived, but it was fun, and we made some really important
Yeah.
connections with people. Let's see, some of the first people my husband and I met were the Lehmkuhls and from the choir. And of course, Marti Booth became a really important person. I wished that she and Richard had known each other better, but she and I became fast friends.
Yeah.
And well, Carol Fields, that was a really important person in our lives. Paul Schwarzer has become an important person. He and I share the same birthday. He's much younger than I, but we do celebrate. Eleanor Law became a good friend, and there are just so many talented and amazing people in this church that, you could name anybody. So.
Yeah, great. Do you have a favorite story or a memory that?
Well, one of the memories that I don't know whether anybody has spoken about, but when the ceiling came down, when we had the plaster fall off of the ceiling, and that was the beginning of one of our capital campaigns, where we ended up, because we had to do something, and we ended up redoing an awful lot of the whole sanctuary.
Yeah.
And we had scaffolding all over the place.
Right.
And so we dealt with the scaffolding, I know, over both Easter and Christmas. And because I was on the Sanctuary Arts Committee, then I thought, this is a great opportunity. So we had poinsettias on the scaffolding. I was climbing up on the scaffolding, putting things. And for Easter, we had the Easter lilies all around. And let's see, Pete Hokinson created some kind of a thing, because when we had service at Christmas, then we would decorate something to make it look a little bit more like the real church. And he figured out a way that we could put some kind of Christmas decorations, and then we would take it down. We'd put it up every Sunday, take it down every Sunday, so that they could use the scaffolding. And of course, we spent a couple of months, I think it was, over at Shove Chapel. And we put in the new flooring, and that's when we did the organ and we redid the kitchen and the restrooms, and really amazing
a real overhaul
things.
of the.
Yeah, I've forgotten what year that was, but it was.
I was here then.
Yeah. So that was.
What do you think you most value about the church and your involvement here?
Oh, I don't know. This is an amazing place. I think probably, well, the people and their commitment to really understanding what welcoming means, the importance of the love that people have shown. We've been through some difficult times, but there is a real commitment and a real understanding by most of the congregation that this is a place that it's worth being loyal to, and we're doing God's work. and it's, I think, self-reflection too. I think we've been able to hopefully look at ourselves and see what we're really doing, and it's not just to keep the establishment going. It's more than that.
Excellent. Yeah. So, the final question is advice for the future.
Well, I'm hoping we're
Yes.
around for another 150 years. I doubt I will be part of that, but one never knows. You know? I guess, let's see, I did think about that a little. I guess my advice would be to do the work that God has put in our path, and to love one another, and to use our individual talents to the best that we can, and to be brave and not afraid, and venture out on new ideas, and not be stuck in the past. And I'm looking forward to the next 150 years.
And you've got something to share.
I do. So I don't know whether this is going to show up very well, but this is one of my prized possessions, and Jacque Franklin cross-stitched this for me when I left the council in 2014. And I think it's beautiful, and
and she was the
very
associate
honored.
pastor then,
Right,
wasn't she?
right.
Yeah. Yeah, that is beautiful.
It
And
is.
it says, I was trying to read the years are on there,
Yeah.
2011 to 2014.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks to you, it says. Yeah, yeah, great.
So, anyway, so.
Anything else that we missed, that I might have missed?
Well, I don't know. I've been fortunate to be able to do some things with flowers, and so I get to put flowers on the chancel often at the church, and I've also had the privilege of doing flowers for a lot of people, weddings here in the church,
And funerals.
and funerals, and that's a real
Yeah.
honor.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you, and thanks for everything that you've done for this church.
well,
Appreciate it.
it's
Yeah.
my life.
Yeah, I can tell. You've been very involved, and so.
And I'm so grateful for the fact that the church was here when I've gotten to use some of my talent, and I've gotten accepted by this church, and so it's been part of my life.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.